Did we make it back? Oh my goodness, like I got my screen went white and it said, "We've run into some problems and we have to shut down." That was really bizarre. Okay, so thanks for sticking by me. I really like I've had this like problem one other time and I don't know why it does that. Um that was the strangest thing. It was a Windows 10 thing saying there was something wrong and that it needed to shut down and that it needed some time and then it went like from 5% to like 100%. It was so bizarre. If I ever like disappear on you guys like that, just know that I did not do it on purpose. We have 100% sunny day today. There's not a cloud in the sky. I will always come right back. So for those, my goodness, sorry about the shaky. For those of you guys who got lost in the interim, I hope that you will refresh. If somebody could go to, actually, you know what? I'm just gonna pick this up and do it right now, real quick. I'm gonna go to KTC, um, and just make a little quick announcement because I don't want people like wondering if they should come back. They should come back. Okay, so that should have been like the first thing I told you guys. If ever this happens, I will always come right back. There's a few people that actually have my phone number and they will let you know. So always just stay calm, stay tuned, and I will let somebody know so that you know. Okay, so if you didn't leave, were you able to just join right back in? Just curious about that. We're going to start right where we left off. Kay said, "It gave me time to catch up. No problem." That's awesome. Okay. So we're in the middle of making this card. Awesome. And I need to bring back up my controller so that it shut everything down. That's just crazy. Oh, and it messed with my settings too, so now I can't go back out. It messed with everything. Oh, so frustrating, you guys. I'm really sorry about that. I can't back out, so I'm gonna have to finish this card and make another one within the space that I have because it won't let me. Excellent. All right, so let's just go ahead and finish this card. We're going to decide where we want that band to go across, and then we're just going to glue it down, and then and then we'll be done. That's it. There wasn't anything left to that card. And I'm going to use ATG again. The only downside to that happening, really, I think, in the long term is that if you want to come back to this, now I think the videos are going to be split. So it's going to be confusing, like this card's going to be on two different videos, I think. But I'm kind of a little frustrated because, oops, I want my snowflake on the right-hand side. Um, I can't back the view out for you guys, so the only way for me to do that is to fix it on the break. So bear with me, we'll do everything like right really, really close for a while. So this was the card that we had started out to make, and we finished it. So weird. It should still archive, I believe. So that should not be an issue. And now I have to move another few things around on my desktop because everything is all messed up. So strange, guys. It changed a whole bunch of stuff on my computer as well. So bear with me. Maybe I should play some Christmas music while I mess around with it. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to another card. So I think what I'm going to do is I'll go until 10 o'clock right now, and then we'll take a break. And I missed it. How long did you want the breaks to be? I suggested around a half an hour, but if you want more than a half an hour, let me know. Because this is all about your time today and getting what you need out of this live stream event. besides, you know, the card making, of course, but I know not everyone can be here for hours and hours all day, so we will be taking breaks for sure. So the next thing I want to do is make a card that utilizes some of this pattern paper. And I think I'm going to start off with this one. Actually, this one. And you guys choose the way you see it, however you want to do it. Doesn't matter. It really does not matter. I think I'll use that one. Nope, I'm going to save that one for something else. Maybe it's that one and this one. That'll work. Actually, you know what? I changed my mind. Let's do these two. So if you're following along, these are the two that I'm going to use. And you'll notice that one is smaller than the other. It does not matter. We're going to cut this into strips. And we're going to make another card. And this time I want my strips to be a little bit smaller. So they're not going to be an inch. Scrapper's Break Room says, can you give additional tips for when you have dark bases? I have dark green and red from a Christmas clearance purchase. So if you have dark green and red, instead of using the red for your banners, you might want to use a white for your banners on top of that. Go ahead and take a white piece, run it through your Cuttlebug. 30 minutes is good? Okay. Run it through your Cuttlebug and then put white on top of those dark colors. Otherwise, put a lighter color. Like if you have a dark base, then use a lighter color like this one. This light green. This is a shimmer paper. This light green on top of there. And that way, they'll be completely different. If you guys are freezing up, go ahead and refresh and come back. That does sometimes happen. Okay. So whites and lighter colors on top of the darker ones will really make a difference and make it pop. The other thing you could do is if you have a dark base, you can use a lighter one. So let's say, let me grab a dark color so I can show you guys what I'm talking about. So let's say I've got this dark base, right? It's a dark, deep red. You could put another like pattern paper over the top of it like that and use that base as being your border. And you can do some stacking. And then the other thing you can do is add some white on top. So let's say you have, if you cut down a white, you could put white on top of that and have a red surround. Okay? Or you could even double stack and have the red and then something else and then a white on top. And use the dark background as literally what it is, the background. And cover it up. And use it to its potential so that you've got something in the back. Because the more you layer like this, the more, I feel the more complicated and the more finished and professional your cards will look when you start doing that type of a thing. So yeah, good question. If you've got dark backgrounds, that's a good way to start layering. Layering is a good thing. So let's go back to this card. We're going to cut a couple of strips. I'm going to go smaller than an inch this time. I'm going to do about a half an inch. Maybe 3/4 of an inch. I think a half an inch might be just a little bit. Yeah. Let's do 3/4 of an inch. And don't throw away any of your scraps because we might be using those later. So I'm going to do 3 of these at 3/4 of an inch. And then I'm going to do 2 more. By the way, all the announcements of when we're coming back online, when we're taking breaks, when the next live stream is going to start, and all that good stuff is going to be announced on the Facebook group. So if you're new, I would highly recommend that you join that group. There's a couple of moderators in here. I'm hoping that they can be brought back and forth. If not, if you try to join the group, I will definitely go over there during the break and add you in. Make sure that you answer the 3 questions to get in, because otherwise I'm just going to boot you back out and you're going to have to try again. As soon as you try to get into the group, they should automatically pop up and you should be able to answer them like instantly. So there's a lot of people that are missing that, and I'm not quite sure why. It may be a phone thing, because I know like literally like 85% of my viewers I think are on mobile phones, so maybe that's the problem. But make sure you answer those questions, because that lets me know that you're a real person wanting to get in and not just a spam or a bot trying to mess around. Oh, there it is. I was like, where did that other colored paper go? The one I was talking about. Here it is. I'm going to cut 2 of these. You can do any patterns. I mean, if you don't like these 2 patterns together, then by all means use a different pattern. So I'm going to do 2 of these at 3/4 of an inch. All right, and then this is what we're going to do. I so wish that my computer had messed up. I'm going to toggle these like this. Now you can leave these as is and put them across like this and make this fun background. I really like this. This looks totally cool. And then put a sentiment on top. So I also wasn't assuming that you guys had like some extra paper on hand and that you weren't just going to use what was in the kit and that was it. So I might be adding some more white paper. I might be adding some black paper. So this would be a really fun looking background. This is one idea. That looks so cool. I like don't even know if I want to switch that. And then the other idea is to toggle them up and down. So like 2 would go down and then 2 would go down and we would cut them. Okay. So the middle one would be the longest. I am going to cut them. So don't feel sad. The middle one would be the longest, and then the next 2, I'm going to save this one. This one would be a little bit smaller, and I'm going to cut this one in half. You can do these any sizes. It really doesn't matter. So that those 2 would be that size, and then the last one would be even shorter. So about the size of... I'll measure them for you guys who are big into measuring in just a moment. So the 2 on the outside would be the shortest, like this. And I think that looks really cool. And then what we would do is we would put a sentiment right across the middle. We could do it in black, or we could cut another piece of white and do white across there. And that's what the white gel pen was for. You guys should have gotten a white gel pen in your kit too. I think I skipped that point. It looks just like this one. A Uniball Signo white gel pen. And then I even have extras. So this was the next idea that I had. That we would take strips of paper and make this really cool like pattern. So I'm going to glue those down. I'm going to use wet glue this time. Darlene says, I only have a cell phone, but I'd like to join. Go ahead and try it out, Darlene. I'm not used to using phones, but I'm pretty sure it should let you in. By the way, some of these papers are double-sided too, so check out the backs. I'm just using the sides that I really, really like. You guys use the sides that you really, really like. So if you're liking this pattern, but if you're liking this setup, but you don't like the patterns, then flip them over and see if they're double-sided, and maybe you could use a different pattern. Or dig through the papers that came with the kit and use the ones that you like. Because this is all really personal. The idea is to make cards that are personal and they're from you, not to just copy what you see, unless that's at the stage that you're at. Then I totally respect that. If you're at the copy me stage of your creative journey, then by all means copy until you get your feet firmly planted in how you want to do your creations, and then you can take off and do things in your own personal way. I do respect that there are people that are in that spot, so don't feel bad about that. But once you get beyond the need to copy exactly, you know, and you get your feet wet and you're feeling good and you're learning some techniques, then take off and do things, okay? Yes, this is a virtual crop day, so probably more people will be creating today than chatting, and that's okay. This is what it's all about. A lot of us want to get our Christmas cards done ahead of time so that we don't have to rush at the last minute, because that's what happens to many of us. Another thing you can do is, where's my little strip here? You could do your strip and write a sentiment on there with your white gel pen. You could put on a couple of your snowflakes if that's. Oh, let me bump you up here. I think that would be really pretty. You could even add all three of them to this one if you wanted. I don't want to do that on mine though. I want to use those for something else. I want to do a different card with that. So I think what I'm going to do is glue this one down and write a sentiment on it. Like just Merry Christmas across it. So I'm going to go ahead and tape this one down. Now I'm going to put mine just right across the middle. There we go. So do what you guys want to do. Make sure that you are really happy with your card. If you're looking at this card going, yeah, I'm not feeling it, Jen. That's just not me. Then use the supplies in your own way. I know there's other people that are out there that are well advanced and they just want to take these supplies and just dig in and go crazy. Like, do that. That'd be super cool. If you're able to create cards and you want to share over at Quality Crafts, if you do that and I have time during the break, I will make a little like montage of pictures of people's cards and I will post them in the next live. So if you want your card to be seen or you made one that you're super proud of, let me know. I'll try to make time for that. So I figure our breaks will be about a half an hour. It seems to be that I think you guys seem to really like that. Indy wants to know, do you add sentiments to the outside of the cards, or do you just add to the inside? I do both depending on the card. Sometimes I just do the outside so I can write on the inside. Sometimes I put a sentiment on both. Totally depends, okay? So I'm going to do Merry Christmas, and I'm just going to use my regular handwriting. But I'm going to start off the page. And then I'm going off the page on the other side. Okay, and so then I've got one done. Now I'm not super great at eyeballing that and making sure that was centered, so it's a little bit to the left, but I still like the way it looks. It's pretty cool. Alrighty, so I'll keep a recap pile here. We've gotten these two cards done so far, and hopefully when we come back, we've got 15 more minutes, so I'm going to make at least one more card. But hopefully when we come back, I really like this one. I'll have my camera reset so that I can back out a little bit, because I feel like I'm like just right on top of everything. It's making me crazy. All right, let's make another card. Here's another card base, and I will be doing some card bases that are dark colored, just so you guys know. Some of you guys who are struggling, but right now I'm just trying to make a couple of different cards from the kits for those who are struggling a bit with that. And I go from ideas that I have that I found other places too. So I might scroll through and look for one. I've got some that I really wanted to do one that would use our gems. And I'm hoping that you guys, if you have a punch, get out your punches now. A circle punch about, oh, I'd say maybe an inch and a half. An inch and a half punch would work. And I'm going to pull out, what color do I want to use for that? I won't be able to use these with a punch. Mulberries won't punch, but these are really pretty. We're going to use those for another, maybe a full background, because that would be really fun. And I'm thinking this one. This one's really cool. Super cool. This one's really neat too. Maybe we'll do that one. Pull out a couple of circle punches. I got another idea for you. What did I say? Like it might be an inch and a half. An inch and a half I think would be plenty big. So cut out a couple of whatever patterns you like and flip them over. I think a couple of these are double-sided. Is it this one? Oh yeah. So we've got like that teal and shimmery. That one's not. I like that teal. It's just big enough. Awesome. Okay. I'm going to make a couple of these teal. That's the color I'm going to go with on here. I'm going to make 3 of them. You can mix and match. You can do different patterns. You don't have to do them all the same. But cut out about 3. You can do more than 3 if you want. And if you have stamps too, go ahead and stamp some sentiments too. I've got some stamps on the side here, so I think I'm going to use the stamp sentiment on this card. I'll move some of this stuff out of my way. Merry Christmas. Yeah, this one's cool. I'm going to use this one. So this is going to be my sentiment here. Oh my gosh, I'm working with this tiny space. Darn you, Windows 10 for messing me up. Okay, so I'm going to put one to the left, one more kind of to the right, and then one to the left. Kind of like that on the side. These are going to be our Christmas balls. And you can draw on the little caps if you want. Otherwise, you can take some of maybe a little piece of black paper and make some little, do you know what I'm talking about? Those little parts on top of the balls that are usually silver. I mean, we could go crazy and you could do silver embossed even if you wanted to silver emboss it. But for right now, I'm staying simple. I'm doing cast cards, clean and simple, okay? You can get crazy, and we're going to do some really involved stuff later on, but not right this second. You could pop these up on foam tape if you want, but you don't have to. And then we're going to put the sentiment right over here on the right-hand side, and we're going to make those look like the balls are hanging from the top. So what I want to do is I want to mark kind of, you can do this freehand. You can use your ruler. There's a lot of ways to do this. So if you're a beginner, you might want to just look at the top. Okay, so I think the top of mine's going to be like right there. Make a little mark. All right, like the middle, top middle. To my top middle here, I'm going to move this out just a tad so it doesn't bump into that one, is about here. And the top one, maybe I'll move that out so it doesn't bump right into the other one, like maybe about right there. Okay, this is if you're a beginner and you need to, you know, figure things out. Move them to the side, then take your ruler and go from the dot that you made up to the top and try to make it as straight as you can. I'm going to turn my ruler around so that I can use the edge of my paper here to see how straight I think that is. So I'm just eyeballing about this. These are handmade cards, so nothing's going to be perfect. Nobody expects you to be perfect. Do the best you can. Go from that dot up to the top. And I'm going to go over it twice just so it's a dark line. Okay, then find your next dot. line that up with your ruler, trying to make sure that this edge and the ruler edge are kind of straight. And then go from that dot and go straight up to the top. And I'm going to do it twice because I want mine to be pretty dark. You can use a Sharpie for this. You can use one of these, this is called a Millennium Zig pen. You can use the Artist Brush Pit pens. Okay, anything like that. Sharpies work well too. And then I've got one more down here, this dot for that last one, and I'm just going to line it up with that dot. Some of you guys are so talented you'd be able to freehand this. Just depends on where you're at. Okay, so these are the strings that are hanging the Christmas ornaments. And then we're just going to go ahead and take each one and glue it to the string. Now, like I said, you can pop these up. That would be a really cool look. But if you don't have that kind of tape, just go ahead and glue them down right over the top of that. I'm centering that line with my ball. That looks pretty good right there. Oh, and you know what? I had a little saying too that I was going to just stick up for those people who came in a little bit later. And of course my computer ate that too. we're just winging it here today, guys. I think somebody said the Grinch tried to steal our Christmas. It certainly did. Completely shut me down. There we go. And like I said, you can add the top of the bulbs if you want. That's totally up to you. You can draw them in or you can add little boxes or whatever. I'm going to make mine clean and simple. You can totally add little bows. I think that would be really cute. Excuse me. So I'm just going to add two little like bow parts at the top like that. That's it. I'm going to make it really simple. It's like two little ovals or two little leaf shapes. That's it. On top of each bow. Okay? And then we're going to go ahead and stamp our greeting. And I'm going to use VersaFine. If I can find where he hid. There he is. My VersaFine Onyx Black ink. And there we go. And those are shimmery too. That's really cool. I love that color. Like when I decorate, let me know in the chat if you guys are in there. How do you guys decorate for Christmas? Do you go traditional? Is everything red and green in your house? Or do you do non-traditional? Like, do you have everything purple? Do you have everything pink or light blue? Because that's what I do. Like one year I made my Christmas tree like all in pink. It was so pretty. I would love to hear a little bit about your experiences and what you guys think. Let me know. All right. So for those who are just coming in right now, I'm just going to do a quick recap. We've done 3 cards this hour if you're following along with me. We started out with this one. And when I come back, hopefully I will have everything reset for my computer to just so I can zoom out a little bit here. But it ate all my settings as well. But we did this one. And then we did this one. I really like this one. It's so pretty. And then this one with the balls. I love this one too. This would totally be considered a cast card. And it's stunning, and it was super, super simple. Oh, a traditionalist. Cindy's a traditionalist. And then we've got one that likes to mix progression. Oh, from room to room. Oh my gosh. To have a house where I could do room to room would be amazing. I would totally love that. Oh, black and white with pops of color. Volunteer at a nursing home. The patients are all beginners. These would be great for beginners. I mean, and I'm not a super beginner, as you guys know, and I still really like these. But they're easy to make, and they're simple, and they come from all the pattern papers that we've done. So far out of this one kit, we've gotten 3 cards. And I know we can get more than that. But I think what I'm going to do is we're going to take a break, and then we're going to come back. So if you're watching us archived, we are taking a break. You will be able to find, I'll label them like number 1, number 2, number 3, kind of in a row on the side in the title, so you can find us. I believe with the technical difficulties, the beginning of this card right here is going to be cut off, and we'll probably have a 2-part. So literally this video is probably going to be considered number 2. So we've already got a 1 and a 2, and when we come back, it'll be a 3. And we're going to come back at, it's nearly 10. We're going to come back at 10:30. I will go ahead and post on the Facebook group, Quality Crafts. If you're not already a part of that group, you're going to want to join now. If you join now, I'm going to go over there and let you in. Make sure that you, Mickey, how long is the break? I just said how long the break was, so I'm hoping in the leg that catches up to you. Half an hour. Meet us back at 10:30. If you're ever in question, when is she coming back? How long is the break? Go over to the Facebook page. That is where I'm going to be putting out all of everything that's going on. Like when we're coming back, how long our break was, maybe what did we do in the last hour? People might want to know. If you want to share photos of cards that you've created, share them on Facebook underneath the post that I put that I'm going to share, okay? So that I can add them to the posting, like the picture that I'm going to share in the next video. So if I've got time, I'm going to do that, and I'll meet you guys back here at 10:30. I can't wait to see you guys next video.